Hurricane season is an annual occurrence, especially here in the Caribbean. If you have a pet, it's super important to be prepared. Hi, I'm Dr. Stacia Young, and welcome to my channel. Have you ever dreamed about living on a tiny Caribbean island, owning a business, and enjoying the island life? If so, you're in the right place. On my channel, I'm going to share a window into my small animal island veterinary practice, my island lifestyle, and my island adventures. Along the way, I'll also be sharing tips on health and wellness for both you and your pets. So stay tuned. Hurricanes can be extremely dangerous for both people and our pets. And while we can take measures to prepare ahead of time for ourselves, our pets are relying on us to do the same for them. In this video, I'm going to share with you some tips on how you can best ride out a hurricane with your own pets. I'm also going to be telling you my personal story based on my experience riding out 2 Category 5 hurricanes at my own veterinary clinic. One of the most important things to think about with an impending storm approaching is to secure a safe place for your pets to ride out the storm. Many island pets live an indoor-outdoor lifestyle, and we want to make sure when there's a hurricane approaching that we have a safe and secure place for them to weather the storm inside. If you're planning on taking shelter within a specific room of your home, you may want to have kennels and carriers set up in the same room that you're going to be in the event that you need to move or relocate to another area during a hurricane. This way, it will be easy for you to also bring your pets with you. Okay, so when we start stocking up for hurricane season, we're often out in the stores buying snacks and provisions here on island and making sure that we have plenty of drinking water available in the event that we do not have access to that after a big hurricane, including any and all of your pet's regular medications. So that's just as important for you to think about when preparing for a hurricane with your pets. Make sure you have additional supplies of both dry and canned food on hand if that's what they are used to eating. Dry food must be stored in a proper container so that in the event that you have flooding or water damage, the food is not spoiled. You should have at least a 2 to 3 month supply of your pet's medication on hand during hurricane season. It's especially difficult in the aftermath of a big storm to get supplies and to have access to supplies. Here on a tropical island like St. Croix, it can take months before ships are allowed to bring in cargo or for planes to fly in with supplies. In other parts of the world, it may be difficult for vehicles to have access to certain areas that you may be in. So again, at least a 2 to 3 month supply on hand. It's a great idea to have a first aid kit for your pet in the event that they sustain any type of injury during or in the aftermath of a hurricane. An emergency kit is especially important to have on hand for your pet because there are a lot of things that can happen during a storm and in the aftermath. There's lots of debris, there's possible damage to the physical structure that you're taking shelter in, and there's a ton of things that can be blowing around in the high winds that your pet might get into in the aftermath of a storm. So having a first aid kit on hand for your pet is super important as part of your hurricane preparedness. Some of the items you may want to include in your pet's first aid kit include bandaging material, a triple antibiotic ointment, and a disinfectant like hydrogen peroxide. There are many more items to consider adding to your first aid kit for your pet, and I talk about them in my video, How to Create a First Aid Kit for Your Pet. Be sure to check it out. Having a proper form of identification on your pet at all times is something I always recommend to my clients. with four-legged family members. This is especially true when facing something like a hurricane. If your pet should become loose or lost during a storm, proper identification is important because this provides your pet with having a chance of being reunited with you. Collars with an identification tag are one type of identification that I recommend. With cats in particular, it is important that they have what's called a breakaway collar on. This allows the collar to break and free them in the event that they get tangled up on something or stuck. Cats are a little bit different than dogs. They like to crawl into small spaces, they climb trees. So having a breakaway collar is the type of collar that I recommend for cats. Dogs, a collar, regular collar with an ID tag with your information and their information, and obviously a contact phone number, is a great way to keep them from getting lost from you. A form of permanent identification is my preferred recommendation, and that's called a microchip or a tattoo. Microchipping is really the best way to go because it ensures that your pet can be reunited with you in the event that they are lost and break free from their identification collar and tag. Microchipping is inexpensive and easy for your veterinarian to administer to your pet. It's like giving a vaccine, and microchipping lasts for a lifetime. All of the animal shelters and veterinary clinics all over the world have microchip scanners so that if a pet is found and brought to the clinic or brought to the shelter, they can simply be scanned. The information correlates to yours, and we can reunite you with your pet. During a hurricane and the aftermath, you may be kind of stuck at home or in your shelter for a long stretch of time with your pets. So make sure that you're also thinking about stocking up on basic cleaning supplies, things like paper towels, disinfectant sprays, and in some cases, pet pads that would provide a designated area for your pet to use the restroom. Weathering storms like hurricanes can be very scary for both you and your pets. So it's important to keep in mind that pets need comfort during a storm as well as you do. Keeping some extra treats, toys, blankets, pillows, and the like on hand will go a long way towards helping your pet ride out the storm in comfort. Hurricanes have the potential to drastically change your life and that of your pets literally overnight. In this video, I've given you tips on how to best prepare for an impending hurricane when you have pets. So please prepare. It's storm season somewhere around the world all the time. Here in the Virgin Islands, we've been there, we've done that, we know. Preparedness for ourselves and our pets is very important. I hope you enjoyed this video, learned something, and stay safe. And thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe by hitting that button below and follow me on Instagram for all things Dr. Stacia Island Vet. I'll see you next time.